Greetings demons and welcome to a Fortnite discussion video, and I just thought, seems we're in the first week of the season, it's a pretty good time to just talk about everything new that was introduced in Chapter 3 Season 3 and just give my general thoughts on it. So let's just roll that intro and get right into it.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
Okay, so starting off, this season is called Vibin. That's the headline, that's the name of it, that's the whatever you want to call it, and yeah, it's a bad name, I'm going to be honest. Vibin is just, I don't know, there's something about it that's just, it's not that interesting. It kind of captures the feel of this season, at least so far, but at the same time, I just think that there's a lot better names they could have gone with than Vibin. And, you know, they've played into it very heavily. Obviously, they have the new lo-fi, procedurally generated music that they used during the downtime, and, you know, stuff like that. It's like, they're very much trying to give us that feeling of it being very calm, very fun, just something you can sit back and relax sort of thing, you know, the war's over. I just don't like it. I don't know, there's something about it, and I'm sure it'll grow on me over time, or I'll just forget it's even a thing, and we'll move on with our lives. But right now, vibing just isn't vibing with me. That's the honest answer. But I guess we might as well talk about cosmetics. They're the main thing that I care about when it comes to Fortnite, and obviously most of this video is going to be talking about all the different new gameplay features, so let's just go over the Battle Pass. I don't know all the names off the top of my head, but I know that there's Evie, who may be my new favourite Battle Pass skin after Reese. Like, I love Reese, I know a lot of people don't like Reese, but Evie seems to be universally loved, and I really like Evie. Evie has that, like, aesthetic that I like, the kind of gothic, kind of emo aesthetic, kind of e-girlish in a way. It's very, like, Tumblr. I just really like that skin. Both the main look and the look with the dress, or the skirt, whatever you want to call it, very cool. I like them both. Definitely prefer the one with the dress, the skirt, whatever, far more. But they are both really cool. They're both really, really good styles. And honestly, the skin as a whole kind of just fits perfectly into my aesthetic. So, really enjoying Evie. We've got Snap, who... Oh, Snap. Snap is so good. Snap is essentially an action figure skin. He's highly customizable. I've been able to make him look vaguely like... kind of like a Warhammer character, which, if you know anything about me, if you've been following me on Twitter for long enough, you'll know that I'm big into Warhammer 40k. So, being able to make a character look like that, really cool. There's Adira, who's a generic female skin, is what it is. There's the new Jonesy skin, that I can't remember the name of. He has a really interesting name, but I can't. Is it Stormbearer or something like that? It's a cool skin. I just don't care that much, really. It's not the kind of skin that I vibe with that much. It's not the kind of skin that I wear too much. But it will be cool, and the colour options are really nice. There's a yellow to it, which I do quite like my yellow stuff. So I'll probably run it at some point, but it's a very meh skin to me. There's another female skin who I literally cannot figure the name of at all. It's weird that I could remember Adira when I have so little care for Adira. But the other skin, I really do like. She's got, like, ponytails and stuff. She's very... once again, kind of like gothic again. I don't know. She's got that aesthetic to her, you know? And I quite like her. I'm probably not going to run her as much as Evie, but still good to have a variety of skins that I like. And overall, when it comes to the original skins in this Battle Pass, I really like them. Like, these are some of the best we've had in a while, and that's really cool for me. When it comes to the Tier 100, we have Darth Vader. I like Darth Vader, don't get me wrong. One of my favourite Star Wars characters, and I've been wanting Darth Vader for a long time, but just, I don't know, it's a little bit, like, we have so many awesome collabs in Fortnite, and I love so many of them. It's like, Darth Vader just suddenly seems like so whatever to me, but I do really like the skin. It's based more on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, or the episode 3 style, or I guess Rogue One as well, like that red tinted helmet and stuff. I really like it. It's a really good skin, really good Vader. Terrible harvesting tool though. Just give us a lightsaber already. Just gave us a Imperial cog on a stick, which is great. And then the not so secret skin, the bonus skin, whatever you want to call it, the one that we unlock a few weeks later, is Indiana Jones. Now, I believe there's going to be an Indiana Jones, like, reboot or something, like next year or something. But I have no clue why we've actually got Indiana Jones. It makes no sense to me personally, but can't really complain, I guess. Like, Indiana Jones, very cool series. Not something that I've watched all too much of, and not something that I have a strong affinity for, but having him in Fortnite, pretty cool. I know plenty of people that really like Indiana Jones, so, it's really exciting for them. And, yeah, overall, the Battle Pass, pretty good. But I guess with that all out of the way, we might as well get on to the actual changes to the gameplay, to the map, stuff like that. Starting with the 2 new POIs. So we've got Rave Cave, which is what Covert Canyon used to be. It's got the Screwballer roller coaster, and it's also the main place that you can get the baller from, which I'll get to later. But yeah, it's just a party hangout spot. It's a rave cave, literally, with a roller coaster attached to it, and it's actually really fun. It's not as high population as Covert Canyon was. It's still very busy. There's still a lot of people there. There isn't as much hassle going there because there's no bosses. There's just regular NPCs. But overall, it's a very good area. I really enjoy going there. The aesthetic's really good. The giant Cuddle Team leader head on top of it is really nice. And just overall, really good area. Really good POI. I'm really enjoying landing there. And then the other new named location is Reality Falls. And this is essentially a new biome with, a gigantic tree that launches you up into the air. It's got mushrooms and stuff. And I'll get into the mushrooms in a little bit because there's a few features with that. But it's a really nice aesthetic. It's really, cutesy. It's very fairy tale. And overall, it's just very nice to look at. I really enjoy going there. I don't necessarily enjoy landing there as much because the loot isn't great. But overall, it's a nice place to pass through if you're on the outskirts on that side. And, I'm never going to complain about a new biome at the end of the day. But new biomes, biome diversity, very cool in Fortnite. I really do enjoy that. And yeah, that is the 2 new named locations. There's loads of side locations and stuff, but I'm not going to get into those too much because I don't really have that much to say. I haven't explored all too many of them. And the ones I have explored, they've been fine, but nothing really that too noteworthy. But moving on to the new, world items, we have reality seeds, which create reality saplings that give you reality fruit. And essentially what this is you can weed them every, I think it's 13 hours or 12 hours, something like that, and you can get better and better loot from them. So they each have 3 of these reality fruit when they're ripe, and the reality fruit actually give you different rarity items. So they'll give you anything from common all the way up to mythic. That's right, mythic items for completely free, just for interacting with the plant, which is really cool. These can be stolen, so if you see someone else's that's ripe, that's got gold or something, or even that's got weeds on it, you can interact with it and you can actually either progress their rarity or steal their loot, which is really cool. I really do like that mechanic. I have had mine stolen from me a few times while I've been watching, which is really funny. But yeah, overall, it's a fun time. I've been really enjoying messing around with the reality seeds. In fact, I think most of the gameplay in the background will be me just going around collecting reality seeds because I quite like the farming aspect. It adds an entire survival aspect, which I would never expect from Fortnite. And obviously, we've had foraging for a long time. This is just a step above that. It's really cool, though, and I'm really enjoying it. Going back to Reality Falls and the new mushrooms, we have bounty mushrooms that give you a shield, which is really cool. Obviously, we've had things like this before. We've had, obviously, Blevin gave you shield and also bounced you away. But yeah, we have bounce pads, essentially, that give you shield when you bounce on them. And yeah, they're pretty cool, they're pretty aesthetic. They're just basically big versions of the glowing mushrooms that we had before, which are back, by the way. And yeah, overall, just a nice little way of moving around through the forest, through the mushroom forest. And then the final one of these, nature items is the rolling rocks. So obviously, for a few seasons now, we've had falling trees that roll with logs. We also now have rolling rocks, which are obviously a reference to Indiana Jones. It's a pretty good reference, I quite like it. Basically, you just break the rocks that are underneath the boulder, and the boulder just rolls down a hill or rolls down any sort of plateau. And overall, it's just a really cool little mechanic. I haven't managed to get any kills with it yet, which, I'm sure is doable, especially when that was the case for the trees when you knock them down. But, yep, very cool little mechanic, and I'm really enjoying using it so far. It's been a really dumb thing just to mess around with. There's some that roll straight into tilted towers, which is fun, and they can destroy wildlife, they can destroy walls if they're weak enough. It's just a really nice little thing. Moving on, though, from all that stuff to the new weapons, and there's only actually 3 of them currently, though we are going to be getting a few mythics and a few other traversal items and stuff like that. But the main things that we have right now are the Hammer Assault Rifle, 2-shot shotgun, and Designated Marksman Rifle, or DMR. And just going over each of these individually, the Hammer AR, I really like. It's essentially an SMG, and a lot of people are saying that it's a little bit too weak at range to be an assault rifle. I kind of agree with that, but also, it's really effective. It does a lot of damage. It's very fast fire rate. The ammo size is actually pretty good. And just generally, I think this is a contender for one of the best weapons in the game right now. The meta is always changing in Fortnite, and the hammer is just a really good addition to that ever-changing meta. I'm really enjoying it. I'm running it basically every match at this point, which, compared to how I was running the Ranger all the time last season, I think it's a step up, honestly. When it comes to the 2-shot shotgun, I'm not a huge fan of this. A lot of people are saying that they're actually quite enjoying it. I just think that its reload speed and its fire rate are just way too slow. It's essentially a 2-shot burst shotgun with, I think, 8 shots total. And it's perfectly good. Its damage output is actually ridiculous. It's just, I don't know, for me it's a bit too slow. And that's always my issue with shotguns. I want them to be automatic or semi-automatic. And a lot of the time these pump actions and stuff like that are just a little bit too slow for me. But it is definitely powerful. It can definitely do with a buff to its fire rate potentially. But I've known a lot of people are saying that they really do like it, as well as some people that are saying they absolutely hate it. I'm a bit in the middle. I'll pick it up and use it if it's the only shotgun there, but I'd much rather get the auto shotgun or even a pump, honestly, which is kind of a shame because it is a really neat idea of having a burst shotgun. It's just not for me. And then finally, we had the Designated Marksman Rifle, which I love marksman rifles in other games. In Call of Duty, I use a lot of marksman rifles. One of my favourite weapons is a marksman rifle, the M1 Garand. And, it's fine. I like the Designated Marksman Rifle. It's too slow. It's far too slow. The damage output, great. The range on it, amazing. The scope on it is really good, if a little bit too zoomed in. But yeah, that fire rate, is just... Oh boy, it's just so slow. And it's a shame, because I really, really wanted to like the DMR. When I heard they were adding a DMR, I was like, yeah, this will be good. This will be just what I need. This will be my sniper replacement, because I love the Huntsman Rifle. Having a DMR in the game, really cool. It's just not that good. And a lot of people seem to be agreeing with me on this, so it's not that effective. It's a good weapon to have if you don't have any other range weapon, but that's really it. It can do a lot of damage very quickly if you're able to hit your shots consistently. If not, it's just not that worth it. You're better off using a pistol in a lot of situations, which is a real shame, because the pistols right now, not very good. But yeah, that's the new weapons. I really like the hammer. The 2-shot is perfectly fine. I'll use it. The DMR, a bit let down by, but it could get better. It could get buffed, or maybe we'll get something that just replaces it outright and we don't have to think about it anymore. And I guess that leaves us with the vehicles just to discuss. So, just to point it out, there is a new battle bus design. We've seen these a few times, including the Deadpool one and stuff like that. It's colourful, it's brightly coloured and everything. And along with that, we actually have a brand new selection of vehicle decals, including the drivable battle buses and a bunch of other stuff, including the Whiplash now has a recolour. Really colourful, really neat, covered in sticker bombs and paintings and all that kind of stuff. It looks really nice. It's very much fitting in with that vibe in summer theme, and overall just very neat design. I really do like it. The Baller has returned. I mentioned it at the top. It's mostly found at Rave Cave. I believe you can find them in other places around the map, but that's the main place. They are now fuel based and you can't refuel them, which is a huge shame. I'm kind of hoping we at least get the ability to refuel them. I don't mind them being fuel-based because every other vehicle is, including the animals, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, the Baller, very fun, as always. It works really well with the roller coaster, which is kind of why they're back. I just kind of wish I could refuel them because I want to be able to just travel around constantly in the Baller. The Baller is such a fun vehicle. It always has been. And, there's not many solo vehicles. Most of the vehicles are for teams, are for squads. So having something like the Baller back, really good for someone like me that plays a lot of solo, but Yeah, they need to make it refuelable, and I'll be very happy. But even just give us like charging stations or something. Like make it so that if you drive onto a little pad, it just charges it for you or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, as is, I really do like the back. I'm very excited at the back. I just want them to be changed slightly to be a bit more usable in the grand scheme. And as I said before, animals, now rideable, both hogs and wolves. You just have to jump on them, you don't have to tame them or anything. It actually automatically tames them when you jump on them. And they're really fun. You can sprint with them, you can jump with them. They'll attack things as if they have been tamed if you jump off them. They're very neat. They can even destroy buildings, I do believe, but I haven't really tested that properly. Very cool vehicles, essentially. Very fast, much faster than your full tactical sprint, which is always appreciated. From the looks of it, I haven't tested this out myself, but it does seem that if you deplete all their energy, which you can actually get them their energy back by feeding them various foods, they just die. So if you're worried about that, just make sure that you don't let them get that low on energy. Make sure to feed them whenever you can, and generally just look after them. Like if you want to keep them into late game, just look after them. That's my advice. I've had a lot of them just get shot from underneath me because a lot of the weapons will one-shot them, especially the heavy sniper rifle. But yeah, the hogs and wolves, very cool to have them rideable finally. Like I still wish that the raptors were rideable, but hey well, hogs and wolves, now rideable, very cool. And with all that said, all that's been very positive other than, I guess, the DMR. I do need to bring up something that has been bugging me this season so far, and that is the XP leveling system. And I know this is a very controversial subject right now. A lot of people are getting very tired of people talking about it, but it has to be brought up. The XP leveling is awful. It currently takes 80,000 XP to get one level, and as it currently stands, a set of weekly challenges, so the regular 7 challenges you get as a weekly, only get you about 1.6 levels, which is ridiculous. We've got to think, like, there's going to be, how many weeks? There's 4 months, basically, of this season, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, 16 weeks. 16 weeks at 1.5, let's say, levels per week. That's not going to get you very far. That's, like, at all. And I think some people have worked out that if you do all 3 of your dailies every single day, all of your weekly challenges, and complete all milestones, all 20 out of 20 milestones, you'll get to about 160. Which is really low. And obviously, you can then buy tiers and stuff like that, and there's a little bits of XP that you'll gain by just playing the game anyway, by surviving storm phases and opening chests and stuff like that. But 160 is still really low. This is a game that requires you to get to 140 to have every item from the Battle Pass, and 200 if you want to get all the styles. I think it's kind of disappointing how they've done it. I'm not exactly annoyed or surprised with how they've done it. It's just one of those things where I wish that they'd kept it the same totals as last season at 40,000, which was still very high. I didn't manage to get to 200 last season. I got to 184 or 186, something like that. And that was as far as I could get, because first off, I wasn't enjoying last season, so I wasn't playing as much. But yeah, still, this season, hopefully I will be playing more because I am really enjoying the season so far. But it still seems ridiculous to expect me to be able to get that much extra XP on top of, completing all my challenges and everything. Because, I do buy the 20 tier skip, I do complete all my weekly challenges and try to do all my milestones and do most of my dailies. Not all of them, because I don't play every day, but I do most of my dailies. I'm just scared that I'm not going to be able to get to even 140 this season, which is a real shame if that happens. I just hope that we get some mini events and stuff like that that'll give us more XP. Hopefully we will. It is summer after all, so they do tend to give us more XP events throughout that. But yeah, as it stands, the XP system, a bit of a mess, and I'm not really that happy with it. But it is what it is, and at the end of the day, as long as I can get to at least 100, I will be happy. I just want to get to at least 140, and hopefully to 200, depending on what the extra styles are. But yeah, that is really everything I want to go over, and sorry to end it on such a low note, but I thought it was worth mentioning along with everything else, that, it's such a questionable thing to increase it that much, to double the required XP needed. But yeah, In any case, that's going to be it for this video. So thanks for watching. If you did like it, make sure to like it, subscribe to the and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, that's going to be it from me. Comment below what you think of the season so far. And yeah, otherwise I hope to see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divide. I just wanna tell